For more than half a century, the name Andrew Lloyd Webber has been synonymous with blockbuster musicals. From Cats to The Phantom of the Opera, Jesus Christ Superstar to Evita, and countless others, his shows have redefined the Broadway landscape, many running for decades to sold-out audiences. Few composers have shaped the modern musical as profoundly as Lloyd Webber, whose influence stretches from the late 20th century into the 21st. This Saturday, September 20th at 7:30 p.m., Winnipeg audiences won't need to travel to New York, London, or Toronto to experience his genius. Instead, the Centennial Concert Hall will host Music of the Night, a spectacular production that brings Lloyd Webber's greatest hits front and center. Featuring a powerhouse cast of 4 singers and a live band, this show highlights music from 10 of his iconic musicals. It's a high-energy, engaging evening that promises to leave audiences humming or outright singing these unforgettable melodies all the way home. And joining me here to talk about the production, Music of the Night, I am joined by the production's 2 sopranos, Melina Shine and Caitlin Wood. Hi, Melina and Caitlin. Great to meet you here over Zoom.
Thanks for having us.
So I was on the Music of the Night production website. The show is booked. You guys are super busy. You're doing shows in just outside of Edmonton that are sold out. You're in the early days of the tour. How has the tour been going so far? You've only been just a couple of shows. How has it been so far?
Kate, you want to take that or shall I? Go for it, girl. Yeah, we had a few great shows in the Okanagan, and both Kate and I have been on this tour before. I was on the inaugural tour, I believe it was 2019, when we were still kind of creating the show, and it's gone through various changes and iterations, but it really is just a dynamic and captivating show, and audiences they really just love it. They flock to it year after year. So it's really a pleasure to perform and be part of it again.
Mm. And Caitlin, you're originally from Alberta, but you very much have a Winnipeg connection. You did your BMUS at the Digital Tele Faculty Music here at the University of Manitoba. Are you looking forward to coming back to Winnipeg to perform for Winnipeg audiences?
I am. I loved my time in Winnipeg, especially at the University of Manitoba Faculty of Music. That's where my training all started. So I feel very grateful to be back in the city that kind of started my career and taught me how to do performing and singing. And I'm hoping to meet up with a few friends and visit some of the old sites that I used to hang out on, around Winnipeg. So it's going to be really great to be back in town.
And Melina, you were born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and then grew up in New York, studied at the Juilliard School. From what I can gather from your website, you're based in Vernon now. Is that right? How did you end up in BC?
Oh boy, that is a much longer story than we have time for. But I have been here for 2 decades now. I actually followed love here. Through Juilliard, met the then love of my life, who was an operatic tenor, and he was from this area. And the nutshell version is we wound up here, and I have never left.
I'll ask the question of both of you. How did you both end up performing for the Music of the Night tour? Like, can you take me back to the beginning? Talk about the original audition process. How did this come about? Melina, maybe I'll start with you.
Sure. Actually, our Sound the Alarm Music Theater's producer and artistic director and founder, Alan Corbishley, is a longtime colleague of mine in the opera world. And so we have performed together and worked together for, goodness, over 20 years now. And when Sound the Alarm was creating this show, actually in its really most initial phase, he thought of me immediately and called me and said, I think this would have been 2018. And he said, I think I have a project that you might be interested in. And the rest is history. I've been part of it ever since. So that's my tie to it.
And Caitlin, how did you get involved in it?
Well, a couple of years ago, I think they were looking for another soprano just to do other tours because I knew they were trying to do multiple tours in a year. And my name had been passed on by some colleagues. And so I had gotten a call from my agent, and she said, there's this musical theater tour that's happening. It's Phantom of the Opera, it's Cats, it's Evita. Would you like to do it? And I'm a huge musical theater nerd. I listened to a lot of musical theater. And when I was a kid, I literally destroyed the Phantom of the Opera Canadian Ensemble cast CD by playing it so much. My poor parents. So when I heard that they were singing, they were going to perform that piece, I was like, okay, I have to audition. So I auditioned, and luckily they liked what I had to offer, and I've been a part of this amazing family ever since.
Mm-hmm. Hearing his music is one thing. I grew up with it as well, but performing it must be something completely different. I mean, it's not opera, but you need to be a trained, quality, top tier singer in order to perform it. What is it like to perform his music, Melina?
Well, exactly as you said, it's more challenging than people may realize. And for the soprano in the show, there really is just such a variety of styles and vocal expectations and demands for the soprano. It's not just singing Christine from Phantom of the Opera. It's there's a lot more without giving away too much of the actual repertoire. It's a vocally demanding part, I guess you would say. So I've had to do a lot of work over the years on just incorporating some of these different styles into my voice, which I hadn't had a lot of experience with before, being classically trained. So yeah, I would say it's a good challenge. Let's say that.
And Galen, what's it like for you?
I'll echo what Melina said. Most of my career has been on the operatic stages, so this was something completely different. And getting to explore what it's like to storytell with a microphone, which we don't do in opera, and affords you the opportunity to explore different colors and tones and just different qualities of the voice that can help with the storytelling. That has been really exciting for me.
Mm-hmm. Without giving away too much, I do want you to sort of just touch on 2 or 3 of the hits that you each will be singing that audiences can expect to hear on Saturday night. Caitlin, I'll start with you. Do you have like some favorite numbers in the show that you'll be singing?
I do. We've talked a lot about Phantom of the Opera, so clearly I'm a fan. And the title track of that piece, Phantom of the Opera, is in the show. And I have to admit, that's one of my favorite pieces because it's probably the only time I'll walk on stage and people will cheer just from hearing the organ at the beginning. Because everybody knows it, everybody loves it. So that's probably my favorite piece.
Mm. And Melina, how about you?
I would totally agree with Kate. It's like a rock star moment, that with the organ sounds and the smoke and the fog blow onto the stage, and everyone just absolutely loses their minds. I love singing all of the repertoire from Jesus Christ Superstar in this show because, of course, it's had a resurgence in popularity. And I think it's always been kind of just a real underrated, overlooked musical. And I think it's so fantastic. So that's a lot of fun. And then also just introducing audiences to some of Andrew Lloyd Webber's more obscure pieces that they may not know, and they hear them and then they leave becoming a fan of that song or that show. So yeah. In other words, I can't decide. I really love it all.
Yeah. And you want to just mention some of the songs that the 2 guys will be singing in the show?
Yeah, well, they sing a bit from Jesus Christ Superstar, so Heaven on Their Minds and Gethsemane. Those are probably the big powerhouse numbers, I'd say. But we also represent Cats and Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Evita. I mean, really, an Andrew Lloyd Webber fan leaves this show very, very, very contented. Like we don't miss anything.
Fantastic. I saw the trailer for the show online. It just looks fantastic. And one of the things that I noticed was the band is top tier. Like it's a full professional top tier orchestra. how many musicians are in the pit, and who makes up the orchestra? Like, what does the orchestra consist of?
Yeah, you're totally right. The band is an exceptional group of artists. So it sounds like it's a full orchestra, but there's actually only 4 players, which is pretty
Wow.
darn amazing. So there's 2 people on keys, Evan and Ariel, and then there's also Dave on bass and guitar, and then Dean on drums. So they are such a huge component of the show as they're playing the entire night, and they make 4 instruments sound like a completely full orchestra. So it's really impressive.
Mm. And that in combination with the lighting, like the lighting just must add so much to the show as well, right?
It's a huge part of the show. I mean, it adds the spectacle to all of it, and drama, and just it's a visually breathtaking show. Actually, funnily enough, even though I've been part of the show since 2019, I never actually got to sit in the audience of the show in all these years until the other night when Kate's cast performed in Kamloops. So I
Oh.
got to take in the show for the first time as an audience member, and I was absolutely floored. It was so visually beautiful, and I had no idea it looked like that.
It sounds like it's just going to be super fun. I'm going to wrap up the conversation by asking what you hope audiences will take away from the show on Saturday night. Melina, I'll start with you.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Like, what do you hope audiences will take away from the evening?
Well, if they are, as I said, if they are already diehard Andrew Lloyd Webber fans, I hope they will just feel so satisfied and leave the theater, smoking a cigarette, just thinking, yeah, that was great. And if they're not, then I hope that they will become fans of this man and his timeless, incredible music that just never ever seems to get stale or old. So, and I hope they're moved. I hope that they're moved by our stories and just the production value of the whole thing. I think it's really it's something to behold for sure.
Caitlin, how are you?
I hope that they feel inspired, that they can come, to the theater to, either escape problems from their lives or take a break from their lives and be inspired by the music and the storytelling, and to hear some of the lesser known Andrew Lloyd Webber songs and musically, maybe find new favorites amongst the big hits that they already know.
Perfect. Caitlin and Melina, this has been super fun talking all things Andrew Lloyd Webber with you today. All the best for the rest of the tour, the show tonight. And thanks so much for making the time to sit down and talk to me about it. It's going to be a great show on Saturday.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Chris.
For our Classic 107 listeners, Music of the Night takes place this Saturday, September 20th at 7:30 at the Centennial Concert Hall. For more details, visit soundalarm.ca or go to classic107.com. I've embedded a direct link to the show page in the article about Music of the Night that you can find up there now.